Tools are a great way to start to communicate with your dog, but they can't and shouldn't live on tools forever. In this phase, we will focus on translating the concepts from the Teach, Calm, and Guide video into eye contact and body language, called distance pressure. This will help to be able to effectively communicate with dogs when off-leash and having more freedom in the home. When starting to translate concepts, we start with what we call the ZEN zone. This is basically a dog bed or any visual boundary like a blanket or placeboard. We call this activity the ZEN zone because it should be exactly that, a calm area for your dog to relax. You can start doing this on the very first day of training and incorporate it often as another quality time activity to do with your dog. To start this exercise, you'll want to put the bed somewhere against a wall or in a corner. During this part of training, we will be dropping the leash or removing it completely, and that means the option of flight comes back into the picture. By placing it against a wall or corner, we can set the dog up for success by giving less options to be able to move off of the ZEN zone. Start by walking the dog onto the area with the leash. It can be either in the slip lead position or head halter. I suggest guiding the dog on from the side of the bed instead of walking them straight into the wall. It's just easier on you and the dog. Once the dog is positioned on the ZEN zone, all 4 paws on, use leash pressure up to get the dog into a sitting position. Once they are as calm as possible, remove the sidekick off of the nose and move to just the slip lead position. You can give your dog a slow massage in the muzzle as you are taking the tool off to help build a positive association with it. Once the nose piece is off, you'll want to hold on to just the handle of the leash. Start by facing your dog. Visualize your toes pointing to the dog's nose. Then take a couple of steps backwards. If your dog moves to follow you off the bed, walk towards your dog, toes to nose, to get them back into the bed and sitting or laying down. Once they move back into one of those positions, take several steps backwards again. Moving away from them is the release of pressure, letting them know that is exactly what you wanted them to do. This is called distance pressure, which means we are helping the dog to understand that eye contact and body language are another type of pressure they need to pay attention to. Once they are back on the bed and sitting or laying down, take a couple steps backwards again. If the dog is staying on the bed, feel free to move in a half circle in front of the dog. This is a very calm and quiet activity, so don't use words like sit and stay. Your body language will have a bigger impact on your dog and teaches him you control the very important resource of space. Once you do this a couple times, you can drop the leash and use just body language to guide the dog onto the bed if they step off. As your dog starts to understand the concept, you can increase distance. The goal is to be able to put your dog onto the ZEN zone at any time and have them just relax no matter how far away you get or whatever distractions there are. Another option if you or the dog are struggling with this quality time activity is to back tie the dog. Basically, position the bed somewhere that you can tie the leash to something sturdy. This will allow you to move away from the dog, but not have to worry about the dog being able to move too far off the bed. When back tying a dog, leave enough leash that it is loose when the dog is on the bed, but only allows the dog to move about a foot off of the bed. This will allow you to practice your body language to get the dog sitting or laying down back on the bed. Do not leave a dog unsupervised when tied. This exercise comes in very handy when having company over, cooking, answering the door, and many other times you just need the dog in one spot. To end this activity, you will lighten up your body language. Keep in mind, facing the dog squared up with hard eye contact can mean a lot to the dog. So we want them to understand that you're returning in a softer way with different expectations. So approach slow, calm, and quiet. I suggest moving to the side of the bed and bending down next to the dog if the dog can handle it without getting too excited. If not, remain standing during this portion. Now comes a part most people are waiting for, Petting. Most dogs see hands and touch as a form of excitement and a gas pedal to crazy. We want to use this activity to change that. We are going to use the established calm state of mind to help change that perception by using what is called conditioned relaxation. Conditioned relaxation is simply a way to help condition your dog to understand that touch doesn't always mean to get excited. Yes, there is a time for that too, but when doing this after the Zen zone, we want the dog to stay on the bed as we're using our hands to not just pet, but to teach our dogs how to melt into a calm state of mind through touch. Spend time moving your hands over your dog's body. Go slow and watch your dog's body language as you give this massage. Are there any areas they don't like to be touched? Are there areas they really enjoy? Start slow in the areas they enjoy and slowly work your way into areas they are more uncomfortable with. Then go back to the areas they enjoy. The long-term goal is to be able to touch your dog all over with zero issues. I also use this time to do a snout-to-tail evaluation of my dogs and make sure there are no areas of pain or lumps I just can't see under their coats. This is a great way to get them used to holding their feet for nail trims or grooming. Once the dog gets used to being calm in the Zen zone, this is a perfect time to brush your dog or get the kids involved, teaching them and the dog how to interact calmly through touch. Feel free to spend as much time as you like creating conditioned relaxation. Once you are ready and the dog is still positioned either sitting or laying on the bed, turn your body away from the bed and walk the dog off calmly. We don't use release commands like okay, free, or break because I have found it just creates anxiety and anticipation of the command and doesn't help the dog to be calm. When on the Zen zone, Zen is the name of this for a reason, so avoid these words during this phase. When we guide the dog off of the bed, I will stop and calm the dog again before moving forward. I tell clients to practice the Zen zone after the walk for about 5 to 20 minutes to start, then put the dog in the crate to rest. This might not be a physical activity, but being good is hard work and will mentally wear out your dog. So give them downtime and rest after working to solidify your bond. Not to mention, give you a break too. For more resources and information, visit us at heathersheroes.com.